Hey, Martin here. Today gonna show you how to install a GenRight 30.5 gallon fuel tank and skid plate in your 84 through 01 Jeep Cherokee XJ. I put this in here actually a couple years ago, and it's been working great. Absolutely love it. It only lowers the clearance 3/8 of an inch, and I did lose some of the very last bit of the footage, but I got enough here that'll help you quite a bit to put this tank in here. And all I can say is bring some help to help raise that up in there. She is a little bit of a heavy beast, and I did do it by myself using a floor jack and raising it up into place, but I definitely wish I would have had some help. All right, well, let's get started. Oh, yeah. This is one sexy looking tank. Wow. I can see Baffles in here for off-highway use only. All right, got it uncrated. Let's get a good close look at this thing. I mean, that's like a work of art. You look down in there, you can see that it's baffled on both sides of the tank, which I think is really cool. Keep the gas from sloshing around so much. I mean, you don't even have to install the gas tank separate from the skid plate. This is all one piece. Going to bolt right up to your unibody. Beautiful TIG welds. It's all aluminum. Looks like we've got stainless steel straps here. 3/16 of an inch thick skid plate. And this is not supposed to reduce any clearance of the vehicle. Alright, I've got all the hardware removed from the skid plate. Loosen that one bolt, see how this comes out of here. Alright, and here is your gas fill inlet and then your vent tube. Go ahead and loosen and remove these two hoses. These are also going to be pretty easy to remove since I changed these out a couple years ago. They looked like they were starting to break down. I was getting some black stuff inside the fuel tank. I noticed when I changed out that fuel pump assembly, and the only thing I could figure out where it's coming from were these hoses. Okay, I got the clamps loosened up. These may come off a lot tougher for you. Like I said, I replaced these not that long ago. There's one. Alright. It's going to be wet. Okay. Those are removed. Alright. We'll get our connector here undone. And they got these little locks on them here. You got to get those. There you go. See that? You don't have to remove the lock completely. Just get it over here far enough. Push this down. There you go. And then we got a vent hose and the fuel line. Okay. On the fuel line, there's a couple little tabs. You just got to squeeze those. And you'll get a little gas coming out. I probably should have relieved the pressure. Yes, I most definitely should have relieved the pressure first. Alright, next, get underneath here, loosen these nuts that hold the gas tank straps on. Now, if yours haven't been off in a long time, this is probably going to be pretty rusty. You may want to clean it up with a wire brush, some penetrating oil. This fuel tank's been off before. I put a new fuel pump sending unit assembly in here, so this isn't going to give me any problems at all. 9/16, and away you go. Now you don't have to remove this nut completely, just enough to get it loose enough that you can lift this up and get it unhooked from up here. And another good thing is you're never going to reuse these again. So if you destroy them, twist them off, getting this tank out of here, so be it, because the new tank doesn't need these at all. Alright. Okay, I got about probably 4 or 5 gallons of gas in here. I think I can handle this. As you saw, I just pushed up on this and it just hooks up around there. Okay, gas tank coming down. Alright, now removing the stock straps. Just lift up right there, just okay, remove the stock straps. Just gotta twist that and out they come. Alright, now we got the gas tank removed. And now we want to get this fuel pump assembly out of here. I'm going to head and clean this area around here. I don't want no dirt getting into this tank, because I'm probably going to salvage it. Now, we've got this big lock ring, or a big nut on here, and it's usually somewhat tight. And you got these nice little teeth right here. I just get like a big screwdriver or a pry bar, and I'm going to tap on there. Get this moving. Yep, there we go. Now I changed this fuel pump assembly out, like I said, a couple years ago, and it should be safe to reuse it. But what I am going to do is put a new screen on it, pickup screen, and that is your only filter. If you're still running your original one and it's 15 plus years old, this would be a great time to change it out. The one that I'm running is a Spectrum Premium, made by Carter. It was around $120. That's not bad at all. There we go. That screen just fell off. That doesn't look horrible. They are totally white when you get them in there new. But it's not like it's filled with a bunch of dirt or anything. And I would recommend replacing the gasket. I've had this fuel tank for a few months and finally getting around to installing it. I had this all covered up so no dust would get in. Okay, I got a brand new gasket here. Go ahead and put that in. Okay. I live in Las Vegas. 320 days of sun a year. And I picked the one day, or one of the one days, it rains to do this project. But if it's typical Vegas, this will be over in 20 minutes. Half an hour after that, you won't even know it ever rained. Alright, I've decided to go ahead and buy a brand new pump assembly, brand new tank. I'm not going to mess around. So I got a Delphi, so basically a factory one, for $200 at AutoZone with a lifetime warranty. Okay, drop it in here. Comes with a new gasket. And what you're going to want to do too, this arrow, you want it to point just like that toward the back. You want to apply a small amount of grease I help slide it in there. Alright, and then it comes with this cool wrench. Kind of tighten it up, but don't go too crazy with it. You don't really need to, because you can end up distorting the gasket that's there. Alright, that's ready. And this is where having some help would be really nice. This thing is not light. Alright, the new pump didn't come with this piece here, so we've got to reuse this and be careful. Now, simply put that on there. It's going to snap on. Take your fuel line. And that's on there, okay? And then I took off the factory vent hose. Put it on here. Just like that. Now we're ready to put it back up there. Here's a shot of the left side of the fuel cell. As you can see, I used all the factory holes. Everything lined up real well. You got your fuel fill right there. There's your vent hose. And if you haven't changed these hoses, this would be a really good time before you put this tank up in place. Over here on the side of with the exhaust pipe, I took some thermal wrap right here and just put a layer there and just barely around the corner. I don't think it's really necessary, but I just happen to have some. Here you're just using the existing holes, everything lines up good. Now for me, I did cut out the tailpipe to get it in here. Not saying that's necessary. If you can maybe get it pulled over and strapped maybe to the leaf spring. And if you can get someone to help you, when you guide this thing in, if you can possibly angle it in by bringing this lip up and around the exhaust pipe and then raise this side up, you may not have any problems with the tailpipe at all. I was by myself. I wasn't able to, my exhaust system is stiff enough, I wasn't able to get it over far enough just to lift it up into place. This, you know, all this metal here was a hindrance as it came up. So I ended up cutting the exhaust back here. I actually ran a little dumper for a little while. I just had a little tailpipe dumping down. It sounds really cool, but the resonation inside the cab was too much. And I finally just hooked the exhaust pipe back up and welded in a piece. Here's a shot from underneath. Alright, well there you have it. It's not too bad of an install, especially if you got help. Kind of recommend that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't subscribed to me before, if you'd hit that subscribe button down there and the little bell symbol right next to it, that way you get notifications any new videos I got coming out. And if you found that informational useful, you'd give me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Alright, thanks.